Hey YouTube, it's the test lead, and today's video is the pros and cons of working in big tech. If you're new to my channel, I make content on manual as well as automation, QA to help you on your journey. So if you're interested, please subscribe. Now back to the video. First off, by big tech, I mean the FANG companies, which are Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, as well as the new big tech company acronym MATANA, which is Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, and Alphabet, which is Google. So whether you're just starting out in your tech QA journey or you're 20 years in, at some point you're going to think, what is it like to work in big tech? Should I strive to be a big tech employee? That's gonna happen at some point. I guarantee it. This video will cover the pros and cons, as well as at the end, overall tips and my thoughts about big tech and working there. So first off, the pros and cons of working in big tech. There are definitely a lot of pros for working in big tech, which is why a lot of people strive to do so. If there wasn't, it wouldn't be as sought after as it is. On the other hand, a lot of people don't stay in big tech too long. So everything may not be so peachy once you reach that dreamland. Let's dive deeper in now. Our first topic is the pay. This is probably one of the most obvious pros, which is why we're starting with it. These companies are so big and put so much emphasis on their R&D and tech teams that whatever price they had to pay to get the top talent, they're willing to pay it. Many people who are in the top positions in the tech sector for these companies make over $500,000 a year. That's a lot of money. And that includes their regular salary, bonuses, stock plans, all that stuff. And for a lot of people, this is life-changing money, which is a definite pro. For me, can I use $500,000 a year? Of course. And now I know what you're thinking, oh, but that's just the top positions. Even entry level at most of these companies start at 80, 90 to 100,000. That's entry level. Fresh out of college, boom, first job, making six figures. Now let's go to the bad side of their pay. And the first part of this is the golden handcuffs. If you're new to this term, it refers to often as your salary increases, your lifestyle costs increase. You say, oh, I'm making six figures now. I could afford to eat out every day. I could afford to lease this new car and everything else. And yeah, you have more money, but you're spending just as much money now. And now to keep up with this lifestyle, you're stuck and forced to work at your current job because other places may not pay for your salary. So now whatever your job says, you have to do. Your job owns you. Because in order to keep paying your bills, keep living this luxurious lifestyle, you need this job. And that's when you become handcuffed to this job. Yes, these handcuffs are golden because it's a lot of money you're making, but you're stuck. So if you're miserable there, you're going to be stuck and miserable there. The other negative about the pay is you may price yourself out the market. And yes, that's a real thing. If you're making six figures and then you want to switch jobs, you may have to take a pay cut. Realistically, what these tech companies will give you for a position, another company might be able to afford that same price for that same position. So mentally, you have to prepare for that pay cut. Our next topic is the prestige. For saying you work for a big tech company, that's up there with like almost saying you went to an Ivy League school and other prestigious things like that. You're almost guaranteed wherever you are, if you say you work for Amazon or Apple or Google, to raise a few eyebrows. Like, oh, that person must be smart. Look at where they work at. And that feels good to get that compliment. This can also help you in a job market once you want to leave a tech company. No matter what your previous qualifications were, once you have a big tech company on your resume, it's pretty easy to find a new job, even if it's at another big tech company. Because an employer feels if you can handle the workload at one of these big tech companies, then you should have no problem doing our workload. However, this can also be a negative. If you're trying to join a smaller tech company after leaving a big tech company, they might be intimidated by these big names on your resume. They may think, well, we know this person was making X amount at that company. Can we afford to keep them here and keep them happy financially? Even the person who's interviewing you may be intimidated. They may be thinking, is my job now in jeopardy? Because if they did X, Y, and Z at this other company, they can replace me here. So they may go to a higher up and just say, oh, I don't think this person will be a good fit because they're scared for themselves. That's out of your control, but it may happen. Next up, the exposure to new technologies. With all the different types of projects that some of these big tech companies have, you can get exposure to all the latest tech, programming languages, concepts, ideas, all of that. In addition to that, many of these big tech companies allow for inward mobility where you can change teams once you've been on one for a while. That usually involves you contacting the manager or the team lead of the other team and maybe having to go do another interview to join their team. Now for the bad. On the other hand, some of the teams that you may join in some of these companies may just have boring work. And you may try to switch, but it doesn't work out. And now you're stuck on that team doing work that you're just completely disengaged and uninterested in. Next up, personal growth. The good. In companies that strive for the best talent, there's a good chance they're going to be surrounded by people who are just as smart as you, if not smarter. So for one, this can help motivate you and keep you excited about your job, as well as giving you access to mentorship and people who are just, like I said, very smart and who have already been through what you're going through now. Now for the bad side. As I mentioned before, this is the top talent, which is amazing when it comes to collaboration on projects. However, when it's time for promotions and you have to compete against them, that becomes a highly stressful environment. Most of these tech companies want to see you grow and improve as well, and have yearly metrics for you to hit every year. So if at some point you become stagnant and you're not meeting these metrics, they may be handing you that pink slip. You're not working there no more. And now for the other perks. The good. This is what usually separates these big companies from the smaller companies. They can afford these extra perks, such as having breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free for you on site. Having services like massages available to you, unlimited paid time off, stock option plans, as well as company events. All of which are wonderful and may help lead you to want to join these companies because it sounds like an amazing work environment. Who wouldn't mind free meals? Now for the bad. Sometimes breakfast might be at 8:30 in the morning, lunch at 12, 1 o'clock, and dinner not till 5 or 6. So you're spending almost 10 plus hours in the workplace, which is a long time. And these companies know what they're doing. The more comfortable they can make you at the workplace, and less reasons you have to leave, the more time you can spend there and work on the stuff. So their investment in giving you these extra freebies, what you put out in production for them, is well worth it. With the unlimited paid time off, a lot of studies and articles have shown that people actually take less time off when there's no set time off because they feel guilty about actually taking time off. They think, am I taking too many days off? Am I taking not enough? And then they say, I'd rather be safe and not take that much. And last but not least, the stock option plans. This is wonderful usually, but in the past year, a lot of tech companies are down 30, 40, 50+%. So those stocks, how much are they actually gonna be worth for your final value? 2-3 years ago when tech was exploding stock-wise for every company, oh yeah, this is an amazing selling point. But now you have to calculate, is it worth it still? Now let's wrap it up. I am by no means bashing any big tech company or anyone that works for one. As I said, they can give you life-changing money, provide good environments depending on which company you go to, and overall be a wonderful experience in your career. Just make sure mentally you're prepared for what you're getting into, as well as the workload and stress. If you do get that big pay bump, be careful about lifestyle creep. It's okay to buy a few nice things, but don't change your whole lifestyle overnight. There is no way that you should be working in a big tech company or a tech company in general and still be living check to check. If you do want to pursue a role in any of these tech companies, there are hundreds on thousands of videos, websites, and articles to help you on that journey. Use things such as LeetCode to prepare you for the algorithm test. There's videos on behavioral questions for the interview. So there's no lack of resources if you want to go that route. Bottom line, no matter what route you choose, whether it's big tech, small tech, startup, I don't care. Just try to have a work-life balance and be happy. And never let a job fully consume your life. If you found this video helpful at all, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want help in your QA journey, check out my book on QA Must Know Vocabulary. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions for future videos, please leave them below. And most importantly, don't forget to learn something new today.